Hello, hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are back with another Zendikar Rising draft. I know there's Throne of Eldraine at the moment, something I want to jump into soon. But this is Zendikar Rising. We're back doing another Premier draft. Let's see what we've got. You guys are probably bored to death with these drafts already, but I just can't get enough of this format. I've been enjoying it so much. And it's been about a week since we last played one. But yeah, let's jump in. Interesting rare, not something I've played with yet. So it enters with 3 +1/+1 counters, and then when another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on this. And then when this dies, you get to create an XX black and green Hydra. Okay, so there's some good value. I'm not a massive fan of the Golgari deck, but I don't see any reason not to take this card. It's like clearly the strongest card in the pack. Because we're in green as well, we could always like splash the black. Okay, strongest card in this pack. Probably Into the Royal. Maybe Bubble Snare or Nahiri's Binding. None of these are our colour. Infiltrator. There's like no good black or green. I mean, we'd play Zoft Consumption, but I'm thinking just to hedge my bets on Into the Royal here. We could make a good Simic kicker deck. Obviously doesn't go with our first pick. We could always splash this. This is a good card. Just a 3 mana 3/3, and then when it dies it makes another 3/3. I think I'm going to take it Into the Royal. It's strange that I'm considering taking this above some of the uncommons. I just think this card is so good. I drafted a game recently, about a week ago, where I had 4/5 Into the Royals. Okay, Roost of Drakes here. Yeah, I drafted a game where I had 4 or 5 Into the Royals, and yeah, it was as powerful as it sounds. So we've got a double face card. I think it's just going to be Roost of Drakes, isn't it? It's so good by itself. The fact this has come round as well makes me think blue is really open. And it goes really well about Into the Royal. We could always just drop this pick as well. Like I said, I haven't found Golgari to be too powerful. Is there anything else really to consider here? Like, if Roost of Drakes wasn't here, and we had these two picks, I'd probably be leaning Infiltrator, just because of the colours we're in at the moment, above Shelter. We're not seeing any black, really, and this is, like, a serviceable green card. But nothing to get too excited about. Okay, so if we are going to continue the Skyclave, the Dauntless Survivor's pretty good for that. We've got Relic Vial for the Clerics deck. The first Mouse I've seen be quite good. I wonder if this is just going to be a Risen Riptide. Risen Riptide's going to work perfectly in the sort of deck we want to be in. Like, this, I really don't want to play this. I think it's just going to be a Risen Riptide. Skyclave Sentinel would be another option if we're ramping out. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're playing this at the moment. Okay, so some interesting picks. This is obviously an excellent black card, and because it's come around so late, it is a sign that black is open. This is excellent as well, especially if we're in blue-green. That being said, Bubble Snare is here as well, which just works with everything we want to do so far. It feels really bad to pass up this, though. Oh, it takes a better gamer than me to work out the decision. I think it's definitely between one of these two, but I'm leaning Bubble Snare just because it's got the kicker for the Roost of Drakes and the Risen Riptide. And it's just 1 mana removal. I feel like I should be... I don't know. Maybe it's incorrect to do that. So we're kind of moving quite far away from this. But we do have another card that would work quite well with it. That being said, we do have Diviner. The Merfolk Wizard's been quite good for me, if you have enough wizards to make it work. I wonder if we just take Moss Pit Skeleton and maybe play 3 colours. Since I think this is really good, I don't think we're passing up on too much to take that. And if black green ends up being open, okay, choices here. There is like nothing for us. Maybe we're probably playing green, so maybe we'll take a Death Toucher just in case. Like I've said in some of my previous other drafts that I've done, I think with this format you end up having a lot of playables. So it's okay to speculate on some other cards, because you're going to have to make cuts either way. This pick, maybe we're just hedging our bets on getting loads more kicker cards, and we're going to take the Risen Riptide. I'd be happy with a Stomper as well, and I'm not too much of a fan of this. I think I'm going to take the Risen Riptide. I think you can make an argument for both of these, and I think this is considerably weaker than these. Nothing really here. Maybe we need an extra card. Is there a world in which you play this? Maybe. Yeah, I'm not playing Adventure Awaits. We'll take this just in case. I mean, I really hope not to play this, but if we're running low on playables... Wow, this came all the way round? I mean, we're not going to have that many rogues, but this has come all the way round. This is definitely a sign that blue's got to be open. I think we made the right decision with the colours we went into. Oh, a Stomper Wield as well. Nice. I hope not to play it. Ooh. So 4 mana 4/4 that tutors for a forest and a plains. It's okay. I think it's more of a hate card for standard or historic. I don't see it being too strong. There's definitely other picks in the pack here. How many party members have we got? 2 rogues and 1 cleric. Okay. So probably not taking the adventurer. I am leaning field research or cat. And I think I'd rather have the field research since we already have like quite a few creatures. I think we'd just rather not run out of gas in the late game. Little bit punished for taking the field research since there's another one here. We're seeing some excellent like removal here. There's still the opportunity. If we pick up some green fixing, we could always splash black. These are 2 cards that I'm definitely happy to splash black for, and one of them's got the kicker synergy for the rest of the list. So if we were splashing black, we're probably going to take Blood Chiefs first. I think I prefer taking one of these above taking the second field research. We do have like fixing here. Hopefully we can pick one of these up, but I think all of the other cards are so mediocre that I'm happy to pick up. This is like an excellent removal spell. Here we have a few options. We have Rabid Bite. It's okay, it works with our Death Toucher. We don't really have any other big things it's going to work with. I'd be happy with a Cunning Mage. The Visionary is really good as well. I might just be taking Visionary here. I think in all the drafts I've done, I'm yet to play with Visionary, but just an excellent card. You're not going to turn it down. So this has the kicker synergy. How many cards with kicker do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 so far, but this is like 6 mana. So this is like a 6 drop. I think I'm just going to take the 4 drop. Rabid Bite could be an option as well. Maybe if we had an extra Death Toucher, we'd be taking Rabid Bite. Oh, this... Yeah, I think Sproutling's got to be Snap that up. I'd be really happy with a colony. It's a shame these two came round in the same pack. But this is essentially a 2 mana 2/2 or a 5 mana 4/4. Good throughout the game. But this is going to always be a 3 mana 3/3 or a 5 mana 3/3. But we obviously get a free card back. And if this translates to an Into the Royal as well, then we're laughing. So I think this Sproutling is going to be the pick here. I would take Colony as well, but not above Sproutling. Okay, a few options now. How many kicker cards have we got? Are we looking at a third Risen Riptide at this point? Or are we looking at a Wind Robber? So we have 5 kicker cards. This is okay. I think one of the worst double face cards. I think if I was going to take a Rogue, because we don't care about the mill theme, I'd probably be taking this one. I think I'm going to take a Risen Riptide here. If we had 2 of these, I probably would be looking at that. Okay, decisions here. So I'm not taking this in the hope of splashing white, because we've already got a splash colour if we're going to splash. I think we're just taking a Baloth here. There's not really any kicker cards. I could take the 2-drop. If I took the 2-drop, it would work a lot better with this. I think it's fine to take this at the moment. Okay, pretty good here. I wonder which one we take. I think I'd rather have second Visionary above second Stomper. Just want a way to sort of cycle for our deck. Or Gecko. I think this is a sign that I think we're in the right colours. I think we've been consistently picking okay cards. We've had some meh picks, but Gecko, 2 mana, 2/2. Gets a +1/+1 counter whenever you kick a spell, and all your kicker spells cost less. No reason not to take that. Gonna be happy with a cat here as well. We're not playing best of 3, so we don't need Broken Wings in the sideboard. Think I'm Royal Eruption this late. Have we made a massive mistake? We can't splash 2 colours, but I think we'll take this, and with the Stomper, we could always pick it up late game. Have we made a mistake? Are we in the wrong colours? Royal Eruption? What was that, like 10th pick? Happy to see a double face card. I mentioned it was one of the worst ones, but you're not going to not play it. So this is so far out the realm of playable in this deck. Excellent card if you're playing something else, but triple black in a splash is not going to happen. That being said, this pack looks a bit Blue-green wizards. We didn't take one before. We basically have like no wizards. We have 2 wizards. I mean, what else are we taking in this pack? We hate drafting, which does not matter at all. I don't need to mythic rare draft. I think we'll just take this. I don't know if we're going to play it. Okay, so we got some options here. I'd have loved this, Feed the Swarm. At this point, we still haven't picked up any fixing, so I don't know if we're going to play these. Probably just going to pick up the kicker card. Want to make sure we have enough kicker stuff. We could also kick this, like, get back Visionary for what it's worth. Draw another card. The other choice is either between the Glacial Grasp, but I'd rather have a card that does something. Wow. There's like 4 cards in this pack I'd want. I'd take all 3 of these and the Stalker at this point to help the Infiltrator. As it goes, though, I think this is the strongest card. This is going to allow us to splash. I think I'm leaning this. I don't know. I panicked there. What was the best choice? I went overall with just the strongest card in the pack. It's not going to be as good. Did we take that rogue? No. It's not going to be as good as it would be in the Dimir Mill deck, but just stealing a creature is going to be pretty strong. I don't know if we're splashing yet. The deck's ending up a bit, Maybe we should have taken another card or take a Rabid Bite here. Okay, this isn't bad to come around. Again, in a pack where there's multiple cards I want, take a Field Research, take the Bastwood Fortification. But the Merfolk Falconer will be happy with. What means we can cut this Cleric. So I would have loved to have ended up with a few more kicker cards. Obviously, draft's not over yet, though. I'll just take another kicker. Literally just saying that I wanted more. This draft's been really strange. A pack... It was like pack 2, pick 10 into the Royal. Royal Eruption, even. We've just seen the white enchantment removal spell there. I think we have to decide, are we splashing black? What, there's 4 cards, so we take 4 off. We don't need to splash black. That being said, we probably just take a Shell Shield then. Don't know if we're playing it. They're pushing us to a splash black. I don't think we need to, if I'm being honest. That being said, we're not playing any of these, are we? So, uncommon for the Vault. Again, what are we playing? Are we playing this? No. We're not. Take another uncommon. We might play Glacial Grasp. I think I'm actually happy with 2 Glacial Grasps here. It makes our domination a bit better. So, didn't end up splashing back. Maybe there were some better cards we could have taken instead. Oh well, live and learn. That's the thing I love about draft. There's never any right or wrong. Well, there are some right or wrong answers. So this is realistically a 6-drop if we're playing both of them. Playing Sproutling. I don't think Rabid Bite's going to be that great. We haven't got too many things that's big enough to sort of really capitalize on that. So we haven't got a really high land count as well. For the Simic deck, I guess this is a 6-drop. This is a like 6-7 drop. So our curve is like relatively high. No, yes. This is a land as well. Really don't want to play this. I wonder how good this is going to be. Well, we are one other rogue. And it's the Death Touch rogue. I mean, we are playing the Death Touch rogue, but I think this is just not as good as it's going to be in some of the other matchups. In some of the other decks. So with this is 18 lands. And we have no ramp. We do have quite a bit of card draw, though. We have Field Research, 2 Visionaries, the Diviner for what it's worth. I think I'm happy with this. So we need 17. What split do we want? Like, probably like quite an even split, but we have Falconer and Domination that's double. Everything else, we have like double here. Yeah, I think we want a little bit more blue. And good that it is blue, since I love these islands. Maybe go 10 and 7 then. Maybe that looks okay? Yeah. Yeah, I think this looks okay. I've seen much stronger draft decks, but we'll see. Okay, game 1 of the draft with some Simic kicker, even though we haven't got as many kicker cards as we'd like to have. This hand looks more than acceptable, I think. We're probably playing field research on free rather than saving it. Or maybe we save it since it costs 1 less. Can miss our turn 3, go turn 4, and then turn 5. Hopefully our opponent doesn't answer the gecko. I think our opponent's just deciding what they would like to do. They are mulliganing. Not as punishing on the draw. Okay, this gives us a really good reason to skip our turn 3 now, since we can play Risen Riptide. So, our plays are pretty linear here. I think we're attacking. I don't know what we get punished by. We'll find out, I guess. We do need double blue for this to work. We shall attack. So our opponent might be cut out of a colour here. And there's our double blue. Is our opponent just about to get completely run over? Turn 4 to make your first play has to be... This play is going to have to be quite good. Yeah, that might cut it. No. No! Okay. I think we just kick a bubble snare here and smash. We get to hit for 8. And then we get to field research next turn. Hit for another 8. If our opponent doesn't lay down a creature, obviously. They got to answer this Risen Riptide, though. Such a potent threat. So we don't have our triple green, triple blue. But there is our Rooster Drakes. I think I'm happy just to clear the board. If they want to take 5 and trade with the Visionary. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that was put them to 3 or chump block. I think I'm happy just to get through the guaranteed damage. So we didn't top deck the blue necessary. So what? This is 4 mana. We'd have 2 mana, 3 mana left over. This does require double blue though. I think I'm happy just to... Yeah, play Visionary, play Risen Riptide, and then next turn we can kick the Rooster Drakes. There's our double blue as well. Next turn it might be a matter of just domination, stealing their creature. I guess we won't really have any attacking power then. We need to kick something. Awesome rare that our opponent's got. Let's see if they can capitalize on the equipment synergy of it. Unfortunately, I think Akiri wants you to be attacking to really get that card draw. Opponent's holding priority for something. Nope. Our opponent's taking quite a while to work out what they want to do, but they're going to go with a Fisher Wizard. I think our opponent might have been caught on mana this game. Okay, so our opponent is on like double chump block mode here. Yeah. Double chump block, and then we follow up with a Bailoff. And then we're just like comfortably in the driver's seat. But yeah, let's move on to the next game and see how we do. Okay, game 2 with Simic kicker. This hand looks okay. This hand looks a little bit slow. We don't have anything we want to get back with the Sproutling, but hopefully we'll find stuff. Glacial Grasp is a way to buy us time. I don't think it's an exciting hand, but I think it's better than a mulligan. Oh, our opponent's picked up the new lands, and I think we're going to play this out. We have reasons to want to hit high mana. I do like our opponent's lands. Bling bling. So we are going to fall a little bit behind on board here. Presumably our opponent follows up with something. Yes. So we're just going to put out the blockers, I think. So we'll stop the most amount of damage, but our opponent could have something to punish us there. Fortunately, they didn't. So I think the play here is to just play Glacial Grasp. Yes. Land. So we're just going to tap down this double striker. And we shall stop 3 damage. Little bit worried about our position here, since we're falling behind. So next turn, we can do this for 2 at the moment, but I think next turn we're going to have to do this for 3 and take the War Leader. For now, we just play this, I think. 3-2. I think we'll be trading either way, won't we? Our opponent's quite likely to have a land. But next turn we probably... Having the Visionary hopefully de-incentivizes our opponent to attack with the War Leader. So what, they can pump this to 4 power. If our opponent wants to pump and then do something else as well to answer this Risen Riptide, I think we're happy. Yeah, but hopefully with the domination, our opponent's not incentivized to attack here like that, and now we can steal it and use it as a blocker. So probably looking at dominationing this turn, and then next turn we could Bailoff or Visionary along with Glacial Grasp. What is it? It's 8 or more, yeah. making me happy that we picked that up. I think when we had to make the decision between this and the two other cards, this was the most powerful card in a void. And all we got to do is survive this onslaught from our opponent. We're clearly winning the card advantage game. So I'm happy to sort of make all sorts of trades here. Not too sure what our opponent's got here. This does not have lifelink. Watch our opponent pump the whole team and like completely blow us out here. This doesn't do anything. I'm not sure what our opponent's doing. So probably to do this in Glacial Grasp, yeah. So we have 7 mana. Equally, we could do this and then next turn double spell, but I think we're just going to Visionary and Glacial Grasp. That's pretty fine. We haven't got any kicker cards in the graveyard yet. That doesn't mean we won't soon. If our opponent goes to combat without laying a land, because now we can just trade with the Ambusher, and they only have 1 red available. Let's see how they attack. A little bit unfortunate. At least we got the trick out of their hand, I guess. And I think that's going to be the shout to tap down. Somewhat glad I waited. Just gonna, I think, pour out our hand here. Okay, we can't pour out our hand. We poured it out enough. I think this might be actually a kick, return the Visionary back to our hand and then play it again. No, it's not. It's not that at all. I think we're just going to drown our opponent here in Drakes. We don't have anything to return. So we'll probably kick this next turn and then trade it off. And I think we are going to start getting in there. It's a bit dangerous if our opponent top decks a land here. But we can still make some good trades. It's really dangerous if our opponent top decks a red source. I guess we trade off the Ambusher with either the Baloth or the Visionary, whatever they don't tap down, and then we chump block with the 2/2 Drake. Wow, I guess we're actually taking a lot. We block the... Okay, they don't have that. This does not have trample. I think we're okay to trade here, and then we'll just bounce something back now. Yes, I like it. Let's put land to the bottom. We'll keep a field research. So we managed to... We fell behind on board at the beginning quite a bit. I'm going to bounce this. We fell behind on board at the beginning, and we managed to catch up. I think we're going to try and close the game as quick as possible. This puts our opponent in range of lethal next turn. Maybe that's an argument to just play out the mage here, just in case we get one shot from somewhere. But we fell behind on board at the beginning a little bit early, got a bit worried, but we managed to survive the onslaught and turned it around with Roost of Drakes and some of our more powerful kicker cards. Sort of textbook what this deck wants to do. We got quite fortunate and hit our land drops every turn, but didn't flood. That's always nice. So if we can survive this turn, we have lethal on our opponent next turn. We don't have... No, we don't have lethal, but we forced our opponent to chump block twice. Which is essentially lethal. Unless our opponent's going to top deck the... What is it? 8 mana board wipe. Okay, we're playing against someone in Mythic. So, let's put on a good show. I think we're keeping this. I'm not going to play Roost on 1. I'm going to save this. Because we don't really have any way to trigger it at the moment. Hopefully our opponent doesn't get on board too quickly. Okay, not something we want to be drawing at this point. So hopefully this bubble snare is going to catch us up a little bit. Really like to see our opponent just pass here. Your wizard, not that bad. That's really good. Just gotta hope to draw land now. If we draw land, I think we're in the money. We get to just kick a Roost of Drakes. And yep, we're in the money. And I think we are going to smack here, since our Risen Riptide's okay blocking, but I'm happy to... Am I happy to trade this off for Mammoth and that? I think I am. So we'll take 5 on the backswing. Since we have the Drakes that are going to go over. And then we can... we could 1 mana this, or we could kick it to get a Drake. I think we're going to trade here, though. Opponent is in 3 colours. Does this have trample? I don't think it says trample. So in 1 more land, this can steal the Mammoth. So we're probably... I wonder if we're just knocking this down and then... I did say in 1 more land we can steal the Mammoth, but this sort of prevents the most amount of damage now, and our Drake can trade for this Visionary. There'll be other targets for this. Yep. 2 attacks on Risen Riptide, and with half to our opponent's life total. Yeah, we'll take this. I think our opponent's just hoping we run out of kicker cards. I think we just play Stomper. No reason to pick up lands. In 1 more land, we'll be able to steal this Sorcerer. So our opponent in like Wizards. They've got more green than anything else. Green Wizards. I guess most of our opponent's creatures have been Wizards so far. This is just a value creature, you'd play this. Apparently it's 4 cards of this costing a little bit less. Okay, so what's our opponent? Splashing red and blue? Or their lands have just come up, unfortunately. Are we looking at just kicking this for no value? Just so we can get an extra Roost and Risen Riptide? That sounds insane to me. I really don't want to have to do that. Opponent just mulling over their options. They're about to use their timeout. No, opponent just passed. They said good game. Maybe they accidentally skipped, but even if they had a play here, it's not looking too good for them. Oh, opponent gets to counter that. Nice. Can you not take 6, though? Is our opponent chump blocking here? This has trample as well, so it won't work out too well. So opponent trying to burn us out. That makes me super happy that we took down the mammoth. So we could have been taking a lot of damage from nowhere. But as it goes, opponent's taking 6. So it looked like our opponent tried to play us there by taking ages, skipping their turn, and then saying good game as if they had made a mistake. But then they came in with a counter spell and the trick. And yeah, I'm going to 100% block this. Kind of in bad sportsmanship if that is what they were doing. Obviously, we don't know that. Yep, you got another wizard. Finish off our Risen Riptide. I assume they have an instant sorcerer wizard. Opponent's taken quite a while. They have 1 card in hand. The decision must be really tough. Okay, so it's a return. So this is instant speed. It's going to have 3 toughness. So they're only going to take 3 overall. 3 and they have to chump block. I think I'm happy with that. I guess actually 3 and they get to kill this. They get to kill this because of the ping from the sorcerer as well. But we're going to put our opponent to lethal range anyway. I said it was insane, but we are going to kick this with no target. Just for the Drake. I don't really want our opponent one-shotting us. We're going to fall to 8. They don't have anything from 8. Yeah, good game, opponent. They decided to kill themselves. Fair enough. I don't know if that was a cheeky play on their part, but I'll take the win either way. Let's move on to the next game. Okay, currently 3-0 with some Simic Kicker. Not the most powerful deck I've played, but it seems to be performing okay, so we'll take it. I think this is a slow hand, though, keepable. At least we have our triple blue for domination. Probably just playing this on 3. So opponent's mono black. We just completely signaled that we have an Into the Royal. I think we're going to start with the Riptide. And then Into the Royal what our opponent plays and attack for 5. Nice, that looks like a really good Into the Royal target. And we shall slam for 5. Next turn we could just take the Skulker. Depends, our opponent might keep back the Skulker in the hopes of blocking with it. I think just filling in the curve is going to be okay here. Oof, that makes our play of the taking the Skulker a bit worse. I think I'm just happy to fill out our curve here, because next turn we're going to probably play the Mage. Maybe we want to steal this, though, and just play Baloth this turn. I mean, Baloth trades for one of these anyway. We could steal Skulker, and then Skulker will trade for one. I think I'm happy just to mitigate the damage. It might have been correct to save it for a creature like this. But this is 6 damage of Skulker's death touching that we have to tolerate. So opponent is going to attack. We're going to block. If our opponent has a pump spell or something, I think we'll live with that. Yeah, they gotta have something. Maybe they have the 1 mana rogue that gives -2, -0. Nope. So we have 6 mana available to us. I think we're just kicking this. We'll knock this back again. Jam for 5. And then I'm happy to trade this Mage off for one of these Skulkers. Obviously the 3 power one first. Opponent's finally going to answer this Riptide. I bet that felt so bad. So our opponent has 2 cards left in hand, and we have a field research. So if we can survive, I'm feeling good about our position. We will take this trade here. Okay, our opponent's going to attack both. So we can't play around a combat trick anyway. We'll lose our creature either way. So we'll just trade and hope. They're going to play this out, so this will have Death Touch. So we'll just play Visionary. This works out really well for us if we are able to trade that. I'm pretty happy with that as a draw as well. This is the exact situation we wanted when we were speaking about during the draft, getting back into the Royal. But it might be better just to kick a Field Research and then play this, get back Field Research. 6 cards. No one's going to complain at that. We might have to take a little bit of damage in the meantime. Strange, our opponent just attacking here. They probably have a combat trick. No, they just want more cards in our graveyard. Maybe. I think we kick this and just play a Bright Blade. It could have also been right to keep the land in hand. So opponent has 1 card in hand. And it's a good one. They get to double spell here. Okay, so I'd imagine this is the last kick our opponent's got here. If we can just get past this. then we might be in the money. So I like to play this, play Diviner, and hopefully we can get the value off of our Diviner while we can. If we can trade off our Diviner, that might be beneficial for us. We shall not attack, but we are going to trade off our whole board here if we get the opportunity to. I think we'll take one hit from the Skulker, block the Rogue. Okay, so let's see what our opponent gets here. So I mentioned in the draft, I think this is one of the worst double face cards, but obviously by no stretch of the imagination are you not playing it. They kill the Visionary here, don't they? And then the Diviner doesn't draw us a card anymore. Okay, they'll target Diviner. I'm not sure why they're doing that. So they attack for everything here if they're attacking. Common sense would dictate you take out the Visionary, unless they're scared of being raced. I wonder why they're sitting back. So our opponent gets to kill one of our things. So I'm quite happy with this. If they're running tricks like Feed the Swarm and Subtle Strike, then I assume they'll want to... Oh, I assume they'd want to leave the 1/1 Death Toucher, but... I guess this is where we just try to slam back. I just want to get this down. They have Death Touch, but... And what do we just... Maybe we just play Risen Riptide. Yeah, we'll just play that and then we'll play a Glacial Grasp. I think we're happy if our opponent wants to trade off here. It's going to clear the way. Yep. And then we should have this next turn. We can kick this to power up our Risen Riptide. And they're a blocker down. Okay, we just... What's this? 1. We just give them the Bailoff here. Yep, opponent's gonna GG there. Well played, opponent. We managed to pull through about some of our value and get to the late game, which is exactly what this deck wants to do. So yeah, let's see how the next game goes. Okay, we are going first. We're currently 4-0 in this Zendikar Rising draft. This hand is slow, but we're going to keep. Since we're on the play, I really don't like mulliganing on the play unless it's absolutely dire. This Glacial Grass will hopefully catch us up, and then we can sort of curve out. The way this deck seems to go, or the kicker, that's quite a good draw. The way the kicker deck seems to go is, as long as you can survive your opponent's early attacks, you can pull through later to hopefully take over in the late game. We got really fortunate there and top deck a land. I think we're going to play Bailoff since it hits harder. Next turn we can still try and hit our land drop. Okay, we take them wins. Yeah. Okay, opponent's going first. They're just deciding whether they'd like to mulligan or not. And I think we have a really reasonable hand to keep, so we shall do so. Stomper's going to be really good with the Scythe Cap. But the Scythe Cap being our first threat, it's quite likely that our opponent's going to answer this. We can pick this up later on with the Stomper. The more lands at this point, the better for the Scythe Cap. I do wonder which one we play first. I think we're going to play Risen Riptide since it hits harder with the Rooster Drakes next time. So our opponent's on what? Blue, black mill. Next turn, the plays probably kick Rooster Drakes. Opponent might have a counter spell to this. Unfortunate if they do. At least if they do, we can get it back with the Sproutling. You better believe it, opponent. Turn 4 Rooster Drakes. So opponent does kill the Risen Riptide. I think considerably better than our opponent answering the Roost of Drakes. So now I'm thinking, let's get the Scythe Cat down. Let's start by attacking. Oh boy. We've got no kicker cards to get back. So we're not going to play the Sproutling for no value. I know earlier on in the draft it was really beneficial because it won us the game, but at the moment, no. Okay, so our opponent's no joke. They're coming in for some damage in the air. It'd be really nice if our opponent could mill some kicker cards for us to get back. Okay, so our opponent's keeping the Soaring Thief back on defense. This is very close to being online and these being bigger. It doesn't pump their defense, so we can still trade. Okay, Into the Royal is really nice. I think I like just attack with the Scythe Cat and then Into the Royal. We get to make an extra Drake. 21 cards, I'm not too scared of being milled, but I've said that in the past and died as a result. I mean, I'm happy just to smack this back in our opponent's hand now. That essentially wasted our opponent's turn. And our opponent does have to answer this Scythe Cat. It's too easy for our opponent to have a removal spell here. I guess we could have forced them to have it so they couldn't cast a Living Tempest. So Scythe Cat's at the point now where it's going to require a double block. Nope, opponent's just going to take a big old 5. So it's actually unclear whether we're going to kick this into the Royal or not. Because we'll probably double block the Soaring Fort Thief. And then if our opponent has any sort of shenanigans, we'll use our Into the Royal. We won't bounce this now. We have 17 cards left in the library. I think we shall trade here. I'm actually a little bit worried about getting milled now. I said this earlier on, like. Opponent doesn't have a wizard in play. They get to combat trick our thing, but it doesn't replace itself. Yep, go for it, opponent. I mean, this is no joke what we're attacking for. Why don't we just do this? I think we are kicking it, though. Are we kicking it? This has flash, so we can't really put one of these back. We can put this back if we wanted to. We're probably just putting back the Living Tempest, aren't we? Maybe it's better to set up for lethal next turn. And then we've got the... So what, we block, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we can actually pick up this. I actually really like that. Yeah, didn't initially see that play, but having this in hand is going to be quite good if our opponent doesn't have a counter spell. So this is going to essentially nullify their entire attack. And we get some awesome trades, or just eat our opponent's creatures. We're going to be going down to, what, 12 cards, draw 11 cards. So a little bit worried. But hopefully we can wrap this game up. We do have 2 trampling threats now. Both of which our opponent's got to be really careful with, especially with an Into the Royal in hand. Okay, so our opponent's kicking this and getting back a instant or sorcery. Deadly Alliance. So not good this turn, but next turn. So what, we can 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we just full swing, don't we? Full swinging seems correct. We have what, double combat trick? Opponent has to be real careful of these 2 trampling threats. Since we can bounce. I think our opponent's in a bit of a poor situation here. You really don't even need that many cards to make Roost of Drake worth it. We've cast a few kicker cards, but by itself, 4 mana, 2/2, and then if you're making any extra ones on top of that, it's just pure value. Okay, so our opponent is on the champ block train. I don't think I could navigate this combat if I was my opponent, because they're fully aware of the information. Yeah, I just don't think they've got enough toughness on board. Yep. So our opponent's taking 1 from that. They don't have enough toughness on board. Yeah, it's not enough. Especially with the Into the Royal. Opponent played really well. Maybe it was something like a turn they didn't attack properly, and they could have maneuvered it at some point. Yeah. Yeah. Our opponent might concede here, but I'm going to sit and work it out. So 3, 4, our opponent's taking 3 trample damage over from that. This eats that. This doesn't even trade. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, opponent's taking way too much damage. Just want to make sure we get that math correct, because I've definitely messed up in the past to things like that and cost me games. But yeah, currently 5-0, I think. We'll see if we can get through to 7 wins. Okay, so we are 6-0 at the moment, going up against someone in Platinum, and if we win this game, then that's the draft over. So we are on boss time, and we have, what, like 3 attempts at this? That being said, I think this is a keep. I'm just rambling. Sometimes it's fun to just ramble on a bit. So we're probably playing this on 3, but we could be just Glacial Grasping as well. I think we're going to play one of these on 3 since we have 2. I'm not going to trade this though, since we've got Diviner coming up. It looks a bit weird because this creature has Vigilance. Gecko is quite good as well. I think I'm just going to try and value our opponent here. Yep. I'm happy to take this trade. I'm also happy to take this trade. Feels a little bit bad trading our 4-drop for their 2-drop. But we get a card out the deal. So what's the best way to play this? I guess the most mana efficient turn would be to play this, play Glacial Grasp, or play this, play Risen Riptide, which I think I prefer a little bit more. I think we're going to play this, play Risen Riptide, because it allows us the possibility of playing this next turn without a land drop, because the Gecko makes it cheaper. Like, our opponent definitely has a combat trick here. Nope. I thought that was going to be a certain combat trick. What are we bouncing back? Probably the foul, the Felidar? Yeah. We want to get this Vine Gecko up a little bit as well. Our opponent can just eat one of these, so we'll just attack for 5. If we draw land, it might be quite nice to just tap down 2 creatures. And we'll do it in our opponent's upkeep. If that's what we want to do. Yeah, we're going to be taking a little bit of damage in the air, but obviously the Glacial Grasps can slow that down. Ooh, nice. Really good play for our opponent. So I think I like this and then a single Glacial Grasp. So we can start beefing this up a bit. And I think I don't mind attacking both of these. Wait for our opponent to go to combat. I don't know why, but we will. So I think we're going to do it now. Since if our opponent draws a counter spell or something, they're what, drawing 3 cards. Okay, so they have a counter spell. Negate! I think that's the first negate I've seen main deck. Oh, Ruin Crab! I'm so sick of this card. So we can play this and then play the land, but this still trades. So it's looking like a bit of a close race. Gonna kick myself if our opponent top deck that negate as their draw for turn. Maybe we should have done it in upkeep. Oh, opponent, no. Okay, so we can steal a free drop here. I don't think I want to though. I think I'd rather wait to steal a 4-drop. How scared are we of dying? This is a 2-turn clock. We could, what, tap down Felidar, attack with everything. Do we even need to tap down Felidar? Don't think we need to attack Felidar. So opponent gets a free block here, and then they're taking, what, 11. They can block 1 and take 9. Maybe we actually attack with this and then Glacial Grasp the Felidar. I don't know if this is correct, but it gets through some extra damage now. It forces our opponent to block. Because I think this is coming down to the wire here. So opponent's back down to 2. And I think we're just going to play this out. We're not going to get to kicking this. So Roost of Drakes will potentially buy us an extra turn. If we can put down a blocker. But we're going to hope to wrap this up this turn. A kicked Roost of Drakes potentially buys us time as well as giving us a 5/5. Okay, Bubble Snare. I wonder if our opponent attacks here. So that is kicked. That is getting back that. Well, they've got a Cleric and a Wizard, so it costs 2 less. So it's 4 mana. I don't think our opponent can afford to attack here. So what, we steal this, attack with everything. And get the win? Oh, wait. We can only steal this. So if we kick a Roost of Drakes, 5, 6, so we attack with everything. I mean, I think that's just game, isn't it? Yeah, our opponent doesn't have enough blockers. Ho 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 ho! Yes! As they said a few years ago with the football, it is certainly coming home. And yeah, we managed to climb our way up and get 7 wins. 7-0 as well. Not something that happens every day. Pretty happy with a 7-0 win. But yeah, we managed to get a boatload of packs because of that. We'll have a quick look at the deck again. I quite like to review our list after. So we originally started the draft, just for anyone who's maybe joined halfway through, didn't watch the beginning. We started the draft picking up a pretty good rare, not the most powerful rare, and we sort of kept our options open by taking a few black cards. Like I've said a few times, you get quite a few playables in this format. There's so many good cards that it's okay to speculate on different colours, because you're normally going to have a playable deck. But we ended up settling into blue-green, which worked out quite well for us. Not all of our picks were great, but we had a deck that was functional. This was one of the most difficult decisions. This was along with a double face card and something else, but I panicked and took this, and as it turned out, it worked out pretty well. Falconer, we didn't really see in action too much. It did win us 1 game. Diviner, better in the red-blue list, but yeah, what can you do? Yeah, we like took a few uncommons as well, but nothing too special. This is a pretty average draft. Okay pick. We have no rares in our pool. I don't believe we have a single rare. No, yep, all uncommons and commons. So just goes to show how powerful this format can be. And we only had 1 game, I think, that we won because the opponent just conceded due to mana screw. Most of the games it was quite close and it was interesting games. Just been loving this format so much. But yeah, guys, cheers for sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed the list. If you have any feedback or stuff, maybe you see like we could have actually played black, and you're watching it and you've picked up on that, let me know down in the comments below. It's always good to improve my ability and become a better player as I go along. Constructive feedback is all good. But yeah, cheers, guys. If you feel in the mood, drop us a like and subscribe. But anyway, have a nice day.